Hey, what's up guys, it's Tips, and welcome to my Classic WoW Deadmines guide. In this video, I'll be showing you how to make the most out of your journey into the Deadmines, home of the notorious Edwin Van Cleef. As with all my dungeon guides, we'll be covering quests and quest chains, boss fights and loot, and notable trash packs. But first, let's start off with a quick dungeon overview. The Deadmines is a level 17 to 24 dungeon located in the Alliance leveling zone of Westfall. The entrance to the dungeon is situated deep within the Defias hideout, a criminal conclave accessible through a building in Moonbrook. The Deadmines contains 8 different bosses and mirrors RFC as the first dungeon available to the Alliance faction. Due to its convenient location, simple quest lines, and powerful loot, the Deadmines is one of the most frequently ran dungeons in Warcraft history. There are 5 Alliance-exclusive quests associated with the Deadmines. In this section, I'll explain where each quest is picked up, how it's completed, and if applicable, any and all prerequisites. Let's start off with the Deadmines' most popular quest, the Defias Brotherhood. The Defias Brotherhood is a 7-part quest chain that's picked up from Grine's Stoutmantle in Sentinel Hill. In the first step, Grine asks that you speak to Wily the Black in Red Ridge Mountains, who will help you infiltrate the Defias Brotherhood. Wily will hand you a note that kicks off a series of delivery quests designed to uncover the truth behind the Defias gang. These quests will eventually lead to the 5th quest in the chain, where Grine's Stoutmantle asks that you kill the Defias messenger in Westfall. The messenger can be found patrolling the main road throughout the zone. Once you've killed the messenger and returned to Stoutmantle, he'll give you one of the most iconic escort quests in WoW history, the Defias Trader Escort. This quest requires you to escort the Defias Trader to Moonbrook in order to uncover the location of the secret Defias hideout. Once you've completed the escort, Grine's Stoutmantle will give you the final quest in the Defias Brotherhood chain, which requires you to kill Edwin Van Cleef and bring his head back to Sentinel Hill. Edwin is the final boss of the Deadmines and can be found in the dark room atop the Dreadnought. The quest will be tagged as complete when you've looted his head. The Deadmines' second major quest is Red Silk Bandanas. This quest has 2 prerequisites. The first is a quest called Red Leather Bandanas, which is picked up from Scout Galleon by the Lumberyard. The second prerequisite is the completion of the Defias Messenger Escort quest that we just went over. Once you've completed both prerequisites, you can pick up Red Silk Bandanas from Scout Rael on the top of the Sentinel Hill Tower. The quest itself is simple: loot 10 Red Silk Bandanas from Defias gang members in the Deadmines. The quest will be tagged as complete when you've looted all 10 bandanas. Next up, we have the O Brother quest. O Brother is picked up from Wilder Thistlenettle in the Dwarven district of Stormwind. The quest requires you to loot Thistlenettle's badge from Foreman Thistlenettle in the Miner's Cave just outside the Deadmines. The quest will be tagged as complete once Thistlenettle's badge has been looted from the Foreman's corpse. Collecting Memories is also picked up from Wilder Thistlenettle in the Dwarven district of Stormwind. This quest requires you to retrieve 4 Miners Union cards from undead miners in the Defias hideout. This quest will be tagged as complete once you've looted 4 cards from the undead miners' corpses. The Deadmines' final quest, Underground Assault, is a 2-part quest chain that's picked up from Norn and Ironforge. In the first step, Norn asks that you speak with Shoni the Shylent in the Dwarven district of Stormwind. She'll give you the final step in the chain, which requires you to loot the gnome Spreckle Sprocket from Sneed Shredder in the Deadmines. Sneed Shredder is the 3rd boss of the dungeon and can be found patrolling around the Mast Room. This quest will be tagged as complete once you've looted the Spreckle Sprocket from the Shredder's corpse. Next up, we have the Deadmines dungeon bosses. In this section, I'll be explaining each boss's location, abilities, and loot drops. We'll begin with the first boss encounter in the Deadmines, Roxor. Roxor is a level 19 elite ogre located in the Ironclad Cove of the Deadmines. He has one major ability, Roxor Slam, which stuns a target for 3 seconds. Roxor is also flanked by 2 Defias Watchmen. Begin the encounter by pulling the Watchman on the left and burn him down before switching to Roxor. This fight is a little more than a tank and spank and is pretty straightforward. The second boss in the Deadmines is a rare spawn named Miner Johnson. He's a level 19 elite that can be found in the left corridor following Roxor's room. Johnson's sole ability, Pierce Armor, will reduce your tank's overall armor by 75%, so any and all healing classes should keep their eye on the tank's HP during the encounter. Make sure to clear the non-elite miners in the corridor prior to pulling Johnson and you should be fine. The third encounter in the Deadmines is Sneed Shredder. and subsequently Sneed himself. Before you engage the Shredder, make sure to clear the entire room first. This is necessary due to the Shredder's primary ability, Terrify, which can potentially fear you and your group members into the ads around the room. Once the room has been cleared, you can pull and kill the Shredder, which will result in Sneed himself leaping out of the machine to finish the fight. Kill him and loot his corpse for a chance at that sweet Taskmaster axe. The fourth encounter of the Deadmines is Gilnid. Gilnid is a level 20 Goblin Elite located at the bottom of the Goblin Foundry. He's accompanied by one of the most dangerous mobs in the Deadmines, a Goblin Craftsman. Make sure to CC the Craftsman prior to the pull, as he can summon a powerful remote-controlled golem if left uncontested. From there, focus and burn down Gilnid, who on his own poses no significant threat. The fifth fight in the Deadmines is the most complex and interesting fight in the entire dungeon. I'm of course referring to Mr. Smite, a level 20 elite Tauren located at the base of the Dreadnought. Smite has 3 phases, 5 abilities, and is accompanied by 2 elite Defias Blackguards. The Blackguards must be dealt with first, as when Smite reaches 66 and 33% health respectively, he will cast Smite Stomp, a 10-second stun that'll leave everyone in your party vulnerable to the Blackguard's damage. During the stun, Smite will also run towards his chest to swap out his current weapon for something more powerful. The best way to mitigate the impact of the Smite Stomp is to first kill the Blackguards before damaging Smite. Keep one guard CC'd while the other is burned down, then rinse and repeat. From there, transition back to Smite, who should be tanked at least 30 yards away from his chest so that the stun duration wears off before he returns with a new and improved weapon. Smite deals high single target damage, so make sure to watch the tank's health and pop a potion if necessary. The sixth boss in the Deadmines is Captain Greenskin. He patrols the deck of the Dreadnought alongside a Defias Squall Shaper, a Defias Pirate, and a Defias Companion. Begin the encounter by CCing the Squall Shaper and burning down the Defias Companion, followed by the Pirate. When both are dead, swap over to Greenskin, who should be faced away from the group as he has a cleave ability that can wreck the melee. Once he's down, finish off the Squall Shaper who you CC'd at the start of the encounter. The final boss of the Deadmines is Edwin Van Cleef. He's a level 21 elite, has 2 abilities, and is flanked by 2 invisible blackguards. I recommend you CC one of the guards while burning the other down quickly, as Van Cleef does a tremendous amount of single target damage and can absolutely shred your tank. Once both of the guards have been dealt with, the fight is a simple tank and spank. That said, it remains quite healing intensive, so if you have any hybrid classes in your group, make sure they stay on their toes and spot heal the tank if necessary. Van Cleef drops insane melee DPS gear, and his unique voice lines make this fight one of the most memorable in the game. As a bonus, an 8th boss wanders around the lower deck of the Dreadnought. Cookie is a level 20 elite that's accessible by jumping off the opposite side of the ship after the Van Cleef encounter. You should be aware that the bottom deck of the ship is packed with patrolling elites that can easily chain pull if aggroed. Assuming you've successfully made the jump without pulling any extra packs, bring Cookie towards the exit of the dungeon and away from the patrolling elites. Cookie himself is a simple tank and spank, with his only notable ability being Cookie's Cooking, a healing spell that can be interrupted. Burn him down, loot his corpse, and then make your way to the back of the dungeon for a convenient exit portal. Aside from just boss fights, the Deadmines also contains a wide assortment of trash mobs that test groups in different ways. In this section, I'll identify the most notable trash mobs in VC, why they're dangerous, and how to deal with them in a simple yet effective manner. The first notable trash you'll encounter in the Deadmines are the Goblin Engineers and Goblin Craftsmen. They can be found in the Goblin Foundry prior to engaging Gilnid. These vicious goblins are notable for their summon remote-controlled golem ability, which when cast, summons a deadly miniature robot to attack players. The best way to deal with this ability is to interrupt the cast via a hard stun, such as Hammer of Justice. If you don't have a paladin in your group, you can polymorph any extra goblins that you might pull beyond your focused target. The Goblin Foundry is the first real test of the dungeon, but if you're patient and take each pull slowly, you should be fine. The second notable trash mob in the Deadmines is the Defias Squall Shaper. The Squall Shaper is a caster-type mob that's located on and around the Dreadnought. These casters are noteworthy due to their Frost Nova ability, which, if not handled properly, can cause a wipe to a group. The best way to deal with Squall Shapers is to stack up on your tank so that the Frost Nova doesn't isolate any of your group members. The Shapers themselves are quite squishy, so if you're stacked during a Nova, they should go down pretty quick. The last notable trash in the Deadmines are the numerous patrols that wander throughout the dungeon. They require no specific strategy, but you should be wary of them while progressing through the Deadmines, especially after a boss kill, as they typically approach groups from behind. But that concludes my Classic WoW Deadmines guide. If you're looking for more guides to aid you on your classic journey, sub it up and stick around because we got more coming. For more information on VC, you can check out my full written guide over on classic.wowhead.com, which I've linked in the description below. Finally, a shout out to all of my patrons who make videos like this possible. If you'd like to become a patron and support the channel as well, you can do so on patreon.com/tipsoutbaby. But aside from that, have a wonderful day, fellas. I'll see you guys on Twitch, and as always, tips out, baby.